would do
Right.
such a thing?
Well,
I mean, just to be with somebody and then he was cheating on her, so.
anyways, right.
Yeah.
Right.
She said she gave him the knife.
Right.
Oh, and she wrote a letter too. Said she was a part of this.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know who she wrote that to? Yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree with you. She ever say who she wrote that to? Or do you find out who she wrote that to?
Her Aunt Rachel and Uncle Ray.
Okay. Okay. Does she have any problems walking around or anything? I mean, does she get around okay and everything?
She walks.
Does she? Okay. As
She
far
said
as
they just made that up.
yeah.
Online.
Is your first name Mariah?
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it, Mariah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Detective Hancock with the Greene County Sheriff's Office. Okay. The reason why I'm contacting you, you're not in trouble for anything, okay? So, and I don't even want to talk about your case or whatever you're in here for, okay? That's not what I'm here for. I'm working a case and somebody had talked to me and said that you might have some information that you might be willing to share or talk about. So that's kind of why I'm here to talk with you, okay? This is in reference to Gypsy Blanchard. I think, do you know who she is?
Mm-hmm.
Familiar with her? Okay. Are you selling with her right now, or is she?
I was.
Okay. How long ago was that you were selling with her?
Like a couple days ago.
A couple days ago. Okay.
Like 3 or 4 days ago.
3 or 4 days ago. Okay. A couple of other girls have come down and talked to me today about her, and just some things that they've kind of personally overheard. Is there anything that concerns you that you might have overheard her say to you?
Not really.
Okay. Nothing in reference to her case, her harm
I
her
mean, she
mom?
might have said something.
Okay. Would you be willing to just kind of chat with me for a little bit about that? Like I said, you're not in trouble for anything. It's a pretty serious deal. What she did was bad, and I mean, you know what she's in there for, I'm sure. She's probably talked to you a little bit about and told you about some stuff, and, it's a bad deal. I just...
Can't believe they really killed her.
Yeah, I know, they did. It's a bad deal.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between doing something wrong and getting caught for it, and, then you go to the extent of what they did.
Yeah.
It just wasn't right, Your mama, she around still?
Oh, yeah, I love my mom.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how our mamas or daddies teach it, treat us, and sometimes we get mad at them, they just don't deserve that,
No.
Nobody does.
I mean, and, she was right, he had an ex-girlfriend.
That Nicholas had an ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that his last name?
That's his first name. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas?
Did she ever talk about him a lot?
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How do you know that he had an ex-boyfriend, just from what she was telling me, type of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she ever talk to you about what had happened that night?
Well, she asked me if I wouldn't say anything about it, but...
Sure. Yeah, but here's my thing. There's a difference between right and wrong. We all do stuff to make mistakes. We all mess up, none of us are perfect. Yeah, she's asked you not to say anything, but, at the same time, pretty bad deal.
Yeah.
Just nobody deserves that.
Uh-uh.
Especially that way. I mean, the way she went,
Yeah.
nobody deserves that.
Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of fun. I mean, because he killed her mom. What the heck?
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
And then he, I guess he must have told her that, he was gonna F her body after he was done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of
What the
messed
heck?
up. I know. Believe you me. I know.
A dead body, you don't do that.
Yeah. There's just something wrong
Crazy.
there. And that's my concern. I don't want to see anybody walking the streets gets
So
out there.
somebody told you that I knew? That I knew some things?
Somebody said that you I guess had talked with her, and I guess you guys had settled together, and that you might have some information that you want to share. So I just followed
that
up
I might
on-
want to share.
Yeah, that's what they told me. So I was
Well,
following
I
up
don't
on
want to
these.
break up our friendship,
Right.
but then it is serious.
It is. It
And
really is.
she should have knew better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There's 2 words that always come back to me with this case. Walk away. How come somebody just couldn't have walked away?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
you know, and that's kind of where I'm at with it, you know. That's just the two words that always stick in my head, you know.
Yeah. Well, she only talked like a little bit about it.
She give anything about after her mom was dead? Did she ever talk about going into her room or anything, or into another room?
No, she just said she went to the bathroom.
Okay. She give you an idea of what she was doing in the bathroom?
I'm waiting for him to kill her.
Okay. She kind of tell you what she was doing in there, just standing, sitting, taking a bath,
She
anything?
said that he told her to,
And we're all adults here, and you can say anything you want, and you won't get in trouble, so, just so you know that.
yeah. Well, I really don't want to talk about it, but
Okay.
since it's a big deal, you know, she should have knew better. Who would do
Right.
such a thing?
Well,
I mean, just to be with somebody and then he was cheating on her, so.
anyways, right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
so.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to talk about it, you can. If you don't, I'm not going to force you. You know, it's just a bad deal. And the other girls have told me some things, and, you know, it all lines
Yeah.
up. So I'm just making sure that there's nothing, you know, I'd hate to see somebody who's definitely not innocent walk away, you know, especially for something like this. You know,
Well, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to testify, but she said she gave him the knife.
right. She ever tell you how she got the knife, how she originally got the knife? She ever say anything about that?
I'm not for sure, but she said it's like a camping knife or something.
Right. She say like she go to the store and buy it, or did she get it from somebody, or she ever said talk about that?
Mm-mm.
Just kind of describe the knife a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Did she ever talk about giving him the knife when he came to the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and she wrote a letter too. Said she was a part of this.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know who she wrote that to? Yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree with you. She ever say who she wrote that to, or did you find out who she wrote that to?
Her Aunt Rachel and Uncle Ray.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who does that? She's crazy.
Does she have any problems walking around or anything? I mean, does she get around okay and everything?
Yeah, she walks.
Does she? Okay. As
She
far
said
as,
they just made that up.
yeah,
Online.
so we were kind of figured that out. She ever say anything about giving Nick any money or anything about money?
She said it was hers.
It was her money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did she refer to what kind of, I mean, where she got the money at, or, I mean, I hope she didn't go out and rob a bank. Did she ever tell you where she got it from?
Yeah, well, actually.
She didn't? Okay. Is she housed alone up there now, or is she in cell with somebody?
She's out there by herself.
Oh, she is, okay. Is there a reason for that? Why are they housing her alone?
Well, she bought me some stuff on commissary,
Uh-huh.
and then they caught us.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. So she was trying to help you out and get you some stuff and
Yeah.
what you might have needed or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if she's ever told on you for anything,
I
or?
don't know, I think she might have.
Okay, do you know what she might have told you on? You're not in trouble for it, because that's not my concern. I don't care
Well,
anything
she
about
was
that.
like helping me out with commissary, but then
Sure.
she's like, oh, you know, and then
She kind of backed off from it, or
yeah,
what?
she might have.
Okay, all right. Did you ever get in trouble for?
No, they just came in and took it, so and I
Okay.
was just sitting there like I knew it was gonna happen.
Sure,
you know?
right. But they never sagged you for it or anything like that, just said,
Mhm.
don't do it type thing?
Yeah,
Okay. You think she's the one that told on you?
she might have. I don't know, not unless they're just like listening to our conversations or something.
It's kind of rare that they do up there. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
every once in a while, but not very often, so. Okay. Anybody else up there mad at you for anything that might have turned you in for that?
I don't know.
Don't think so,
Maybe.
or maybe? Made a lot of enemies up there?
I don't know.
Okay. Anything about Nick that she might have told you about that would?
That would incriminate him.
Yeah, and I'm not looking for so much on him, it's just, I hate to say, I mean, he was honest. I mean, he
Yeah.
was just right out honest about everything. Her just, lying about stuff is just, it's not right,
I mean, the only thing she could get in trouble for is conspiracy.
Right, right,
I mean, handing him the knife. I mean, what? Oh
Yeah.
my god,
yeah.
that's crazy.
She say anything about any gloves or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if you happen to remember something or want to talk to me about anything, let me know, in particular about this case. I don't want to know anything about your case, that's between you and whatever, so
Man, I got a court date way in October, and I'm like,
Anita.
what the freak?
Yeah, I don't know why they set them out so long, I guess they're just
I
that
don't
busy
know. Yeah.
sometimes, so. But, yeah, if there's
Or is he
anything,
vacationing?
and that could be, that very
Yeah.
well could be, because, we gotta take our vacation sometimes too to can't build it up only so much, and then
Yeah.
we start losing it, so. But, if there, I mean, I understand that, there was a couple girls saying, hey, you might have wanted to share some information, so that's
Mhm.
mainly why I talked to you.
Oh, that's
We want to
cool.
talk to you, so. But if you happen to think of something, or you wanna just talk about that, just let me know, and I'll come get you again, and we'll talk, okay? All right. Anything else that you can think of that you wanna talk to me about? Okay. All right. Here's in there, here we go. Leave those kind of loose as I can for you. We'll go straight down that hallway there.